choose an apprentice. So it is very important that we have training programs after the apprenticeships. And so I would like just to give you a short introduction into the possibilities after doing an apprentice with Credit Suisse. We have Denzel. He has chosen the Federal Diploma of Vocational Education with Profile E. After this profile, he will work with Credit Suisse 2, 3, 4 years. He says he would like to become a relationship manager. That's a very good choice. And for that we have a very good college of higher education in banking. The important thing is that the Swiss Association of Bankers, they defined the body of knowledge. They say what he has to know, what skills he has to have after finishing the college. And of course, he will work. He will work 80 or 100%, and in the evening or Saturday, he is going to school. And he will finish it after 3 years with a federal diploma of higher education. And this gives him a good position, and he will have the possibilities to become a senior relation manager, working with Credit Suisse, switching to the high net worth, and then he says, I think I need to have another program. It doesn't, it was great, I finished the higher education, but there are still a lot of things I don't know. I would like to broaden my knowledge, and he will have access to the postgraduate studies of University of Applied Science. I come back to it a little bit later again. Or, let's go back again. Denzel decides after the profile E, I would like to go to the University of Applied Science, but he doesn't conclude his apprentice with the baccalaureate. Nazia does it. She has direct access to the bachelor degree, but Denzel has the possibility to catch up. He can do it in 2 different ways. He says, I'm working part-time, and I'm going to the commercial school for 2 other years, and then I have the baccalaureate and can go to University of Applied Science. Or he says, I quit Credit Suisse and I'm going full-time to the commercial school. But we have, every year, we have many young people, they still go on working and go for the baccalaureate. So he will have the possibility as well to go to the University of Applied Science. And Nazia told us that she would like to study economy. So he has the opportunity to do it after finishing the apprentice. Probably she's going to work another year because she needs to have a little bit time for herself, going abroad, and because she was learning so hard the last years. And then she can go for a 4-year program, but she's still working within Credit Suisse. She's probably an assistant relationship manager, and she works about 80%. And for 4 years, she follows a bachelor degree with the major in banking and finance. That's the important thing. Of course, we are a bank, and we'd like to that our young people they choose this major. But it's not finished then. Of course, she has different opportunities. The Swiss system, education system, is a system of lifelong learning, and one of the most important features is the permeability. So she can choose after the bachelor degree that she would like to go in university, for example, University of St. Gallen, because it's a well-renowned, with a good reputation in economy. So she says, and she had good grades, and the University of St. Gallen says, okay, we accept your bachelor degree, but you have to catch up in this area and that area, some other points you have, some other exams, but it's possible. So she can follow the master degree at the Tier 1 university. We have 9 universities in Switzerland, and one is the Federal Institution of Technology. So there are only about 20% of the adolescents, they go directly to university. So we have about 400 different exams, federal exams. So you see a lot of people, they catch up, they do further education in the professional education because the association or the professional organization, they define what the employees, what the labor market needs, and then they define the knowledge, the contents, and so there's a correlation between labor market and institutions, and this is one of our success stories, I guess. So I only have a little bit of time, but you will get the presentation and you can read some more information later. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Who is at the table when you decide those standards? I mean, who or what the curriculum should be, or what the market needs for that matter? Is it workers and management?
We have, some years, it was 10 years ago, this college for bankers was defined, and there were, I think they were on the table, the Swiss Banker Association, and then they give, you have to go to your bank and you talk to managers what is needed, and then you go back and then it's discussed. For example, I'm working with Credit Suisse. I am responsible, or I'm advisor for further education, and I'm in contact with employees. Some they have many years of experience, some they are young as they are. And then for example, I'm in the Banker Association, and I represent Credit Suisse, and we have from other banks, they represents UBS or small banks, and you come together and you discuss the things there. And so some years ago we overviewed the body of knowledge, and I had to go back to my bank and ask, is it still is there still need for that, or is it's old-fashioned? So this is the exchange we have.
So is the education on the left more specialized, and the education on the right is broader, more liberal arts, philosophical than?
It depends what subject you choose. But here you have really the labor market. It's a professional education. For example, it depends what kind of apprentice you have. If you have an apprentice as nurse, you have another federal diploma as when you come from the information technology. It's really based on the professional needs. And study philosophy, everything, this is on university degree.
Okay, I think really we have to break
Yeah,
up.
so thank you very much for having us today, and it was a very interesting.
So you can ask us questions.
How old are you?
Start.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
And I'm 17, almost 18.
How did you decide this is what you wanted to do?
Things like, do you like drawing, or do you like working outside? And that way they just at the end try to give you a little idea of what could suit you later on in life.
For me personally, I already knew that I wanted to study economics when I was like in the last year of the secondary school. So I thought that the best way to get there is to do an apprenticeship in a bank. So that's why I'm here. Yes?
How did each of you choose Credit Suisse over UBS or somebody else to apprentice?
Well, I applied in 2 different banks. I didn't do anything else, like in the Kantonalbank. I'm not sure, that's a local bank for Zurich, and the Credit Suisse. And well, I chose Credit Suisse because they, I don't know, they were better. And they also wanted me, so I took the chance.
And I chose Credit Suisse. I also actually applied for UBS, but I chose Credit Suisse since I know a little bit better, since my mom also works there. So sometimes I also visited her and just looked into what she's been doing. And so yeah, that's actually how I came to Credit Suisse.
What kind of banking positions do you see yourselves ending up in?
So actually, I just started, but I have set to myself as a goal to maybe be a relationship manager afterwards, after my 3 years.
And well, now on my 5th semester, I was in the trading services, and I really liked it. And after university, because you really need a bachelor or master degree for trade yourself, I would love to apply there for a trading position.
So you partially answered my question, but are your parents in banking, both of you? Your mom is. Is your parents?
No, my parents have nothing to do with the bank. They just work. They just, because I moved from Greece here 5 years ago, so they're like simply workers. They just have the standard school. They were done with standard school in Greece, so they don't have any higher education, so I chose that myself. Yes.
Do you have a vocational coach? And if you do, how often do you meet?
And so you have a vocational coach for each department that you go to. And at the moment, I work at the cash, so as a teller, so I always see him. And usually you always see him every day, and if you have any questions, you can always go to that person that's responsible for you, so the vocational trainer, and ask those, or otherwise he or she's always there for you.
Yeah, they're like, we have them like in the same department as we are, so we see them every day we work there. And then Pierre is our vocal coach for overall these 3 years. So if it's something wrong like on the job or in school, we can also contact him as well as our like vocal teacher on the job.
So you've been here 3 years. So what's your most proud moment of your work that you've accomplished while you've been here? Can you talk about that?
A highlight from the apprenticeship was in the first year, as I also started in the cash service on the counter. I was really proud of myself because like after 2 weeks I could like manage to have the counter for myself alone, and yeah.
Did you, so Nazia, you were in Greece prior to this. What were the differences between the education system there and then coming to Switzerland, where this is such a big part of learning? And Denzel, did you come up through the compulsory education?
I was born here, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was a huge difference, really huge. Because like in Greece, we have something, you can say something similar to America. Because like after school, we go directly to study, and afterwards you work. So when I came here, I didn't know about the system. So I was in the secondary school, and afterwards I tried to understand, okay, this works this way, but it's a big difference, because I think it's really a good way, because you still study, you're still in school, but you also work, so you have this the experience, the professional experience, which is really important nowadays. Yes?
So what are your friends doing? Are they in apprenticeships? Are they doing similar things in different sectors? Or just curious what your average friends are doing?
Yeah, most of my friends also do an apprenticeship somewhere, not exactly at a bank or anywhere else, but otherwise they also have they go to school,
right?
So yeah, extra year of school, or they choose to make a higher level of school. That also takes about 3 to 6 years. Otherwise, some of them also work in little shops in Zurich, but yeah, also a lot of them work in a bank. So.
Are there apprenticeship experiences similar to what you guys have gone through, or are you the more sophisticated process? Just curious when you sit around and talk to each other, what the perspective is as to what you've gone through versus what they're going through.
Well, you can see because in school we are all commercial apprentices. So we have some of my friends work for the canton of Zurich, and some of my friends are in an assurance company and this stuff. So you can actually see that the bank apprenticeship is the most challenging, because we have to go to school to work. We have maybe some internal trainings, and we have CYP, so we have a lot to do. That some of the other apprentices don't have to do that often as we do.
And are any of your friends not doing apprenticeships, or just doing something else, or is
There
that
are
rare?
like people that only go to school.
Only go to school.
So that will hear it afterwards,
Okay.
and but the most of them have an apprenticeship somewhere, not only in the commercial sector but also in other sectors. Please.
Do you feel at the end of the apprenticeship, if you wanted to move to Bern and try a different bank, is it easy to move around from Credit Suisse to USB to a different city? How hard or easy would that be?
So it depends what you mean. So you mean like if you suddenly now in the apprenticeship quit and
No, you finished your apprenticeship and now you want a job.
Change banks.
So after the apprenticeship, you can always decide if you would like to work on with Credit Suisse, or if you would like to go in somewhere else and work to UBS or at a cantonal, so a local bank, or it's up to you if you'd like to do that.
The certificate is acknowledged by all the banks, so that's no problem. You can switch from one bank to the other because all have the same final exams.
Right.
So, I guess it's a two-part question. What has been the most impactful thing you've learned through this apprenticeship, and what has surprised you in the apprenticeship?
Well, what surprised me was that we have so many responsibilities, even though we're in the apprenticeship. Like, we have to do so many things alone. Well, of course, they're gonna check our work, but we do have a lot of responsibilities. And I think I've learned how to work properly, and you become a professional in these 3 years, because you change from only school to the professional world, so you have to learn a lot of things. But I think the most important is that you actually become an adult and know how to deal with responsibilities and so on.
So what surprised me the most is the switch, since I'm in my first semester here at Credit Suisse, so I can't really say too much about it overall. But what has surprised me the most is the switch from the primary school that I went to suddenly working in a bank. That switch itself has just surprised me, and it's not too challenging by me. You just have to get used to it.
One last question, because afterwards we only have 5 minutes left.